Have you ever had a kink in the hose when you were trying to do something really important?
Yes.
It sucks, and it can temporarily delay you from being able to achieve your goals. So today we are going to discuss how to unkink your hose so that you can reach your business goals. Hey, lady bosses, are you working even after putting the kids to bed but still not getting results?
Are you tired of spending money on ads that aren't getting engagement?
Do you feel burdened that you aren't fulfilling your purpose in life because you are so consumed with work?
I'm your host, Brooke Bolts. I'm an attorney and founder of Bolts Legal. I started my business and in 1 year was bringing in 7 figures and am now bringing in multi-7 figures.
And I'm your co-host, Rachel Bolts, owner of Bolts Media. I've helped many businesses build their online presence and increase their revenue through digital marketing.
Want to hear how we did it?
We are here to help you achieve your goals personally, professionally, and spiritually.
So kick off your high heels, sit back, and let's ignite that passion.
We're Miss Biz, where we're putting the Miss in biz.
Let's get biz done. The Miss Biz podcast is nothing if it's not transparent. We have always been and will always be open books to our listeners. We share with you the struggles that we face as business owners on a daily and weekly basis, and we like to talk with you about how we go through those challenges in the hopes that you can learn from some of the mistakes or maybe get some new ideas that you haven't thought of to help you in your own business challenges. So we have sat down and looked at the Miss Biz podcast, where we've come and where we're going, and identified some of the areas that we could improve upon. And the analogy that we thought of is a water hose. You know, we're pumping a bunch of water into this hose, but at the end of the hose, there's just a trickle of water coming out. And that's because there's blockages and kinks in the line along the way. And so we have come up with some ideas on how this year we're going to try to rid the line of those blockages and kinks and have a free-flowing, full blast water stream at the end of our Miss Biz water hose.
One of the major problems that we identified is one of the main purposes of the podcast was to really focus on developing those relationships with our listeners and build relationships with new listeners as well. So we started a bunch of different avenues in order to make those relationships happen, and they just really haven't been 100% effective. They have been effective to a degree, but not the way that we had truly envisioned.
So we have listeners. We want to turn those listeners into relationships. And we've tried a couple things in the past, and they've had a margin of success, but we wanted to expand and grow from what we have learned. So one of the things we had implemented early in our podcasting career was a weekly Zoom call. And this was 1 hour of time that we dedicated to our listeners. It was a free call where anyone could call into the Zoom call, and we would discuss the episode of the week and try to incorporate it and implement it into everybody's business lives during that 1 hour session. So I always came away with value from that session, but we found that we had the same small group of listeners who would call in every week, and it wasn't necessarily growing to be reaching a broader and broader audience. And so Go ahead.
And those who were on the call, we did develop good relationships with them.
Absolutely.
It was just expanding upon that and reaching more people that were in the area that we were trying to target specifically.
Yes. And so we looked at some other podcasts who have these Zoom calls, but they are generally paid subscriptions to be a part of it. It's generally part of a coaching program or a mastermind program. So you're paying to be a part of this community, and then you get the Zoom call as part of that. But there weren't really any other podcasts that I knew of who just had free Zoom calls. And we weren't really at that point looking to make money off of the podcast. So we weren't looking to charge people to come to the Zoom call. We just wanted to meet people and build relationships and help them grow. But I think when you don't have that kind of criteria that people have to invest in, that it just doesn't accomplish the same things that the paid subscriptions do. So we turned it into a paid call, and I think at this point we're probably just gonna discontinue it for this year and focus on some other ways to try to build relationships with our listeners. Do you love the Miss Biz podcast?
Because we love you.
Here's 3 things you can do to show your support.
1, write us a review. Apple, Spotify, and Google My Business are the best platforms to write a review.
2, follow us on social media. Our handle is at Miss Biz Podcast.
3, join our Facebook group, Miss Biz Nation, for exclusive content and behind-the-scenes footage. Also, ask questions related to your business and discuss topics from our episodes. One of the other problems that we identified is we have not mentioned any of our lead magnets in our episodes. So we have several different giveaways that we have created. Some of them are on the website. Some of them we have mentioned before, like when we had a specific episode about that topic. But we really done nothing with it in order to be able to get people's email addresses so that we can further communicate with them.
An email is, and we have a whole episode on this, one of the most effective ways to relate to and communicate with your audience. And one of the challenges with a podcast is we don't know who our listeners are unless they tell us. And so we just send this episode out into podcast space and hope that it reaches people's ears, but we don't know who you are and how to relate to you and what you like and what you don't like. And so we want to have your address or your email addresses so we can put you on our email list, and then you can have a really easy tool to just click reply if you ever do want to reach out to us. And so that's something that we are going to start mentioning, and it's been our fault for not telling you, hey, we want your email address, and here's a really easy way to provide it. So we're going to start in our episodes sharing with you that in order to request any of our lead magnets, and we'll tell you what some of those are, is just to go to our website, missbiz.com, go to the Contact Us page, and just type in Small Business Checklist, which is one of our lead magnets, if that's the one that you're interested in.
Or Content Strategy Guide.
Exactly. So these are some of the free tools that can help you in business that we have created to help you. And we want to give them to you. And in exchange, you'll be providing us your email address so that we can put you on our weekly email list. So emails are important. We were not doing an effective job at getting our listeners' email addresses so that we could be in email contact with you.
So now you know, we want your email address. So go ahead and submit that lead form and we will add you to our contact list because we want to learn more about you.
And even if you don't want a specific lead magnet, if you just like to be added to our email list, just go ahead and do that contact form and and just say add me to the list, and we'll happily do that.
One of the other major problems that we identified is that we were not mentioning our businesses and how to contact us in the episodes. So Brooke, for example, she has a little jingle that plays in every single episode about her business, but not anything that would really grab people's attention or make them receptive to hearing what she would like.
I think the weakness of it is that it doesn't invite you to reach out. So, and I put myself in the shoes of a listener and I think, okay, there's certain podcasts that I like listening to. I listen to them regularly, but would I feel comfortable to just reach out to that podcaster? Probably not. But if they said to me, hey, I want to connect with you. If you have this issue or you want to chat about this topic, reach out to me. I want to hear from you. If they invited me to do that, then maybe I would. And so we realized we weren't inviting you necessarily directly to contact us. We may say, yes, go to boltzlegal.com, or we might talk about, I'm a personal injury lawyer and Rachel has a digital marketing business, but we want you to know that I would like to represent you in a legal case if you have a legal need. And Rachel would love to do digital marketing for you. And we wanted you to know, to feel comfortable, if you would like our services, that you're invited to contact us. And the best way to contact me is, if you're on my email list, you can just reply to my emails. If you're not, you can go to boltzlegal.com and fill out the contact form there. And I do personal injury law, home insurance law, and medical revenue recovery. However, if that's not the need you have something completely different, still reach out to me, because if it's not something I could personally handle, I will help you find someone who can. And so any legal need, don't hesitate or feel uncomfortable to reach out.
Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Meet our expert team at Miss Biz.
Whether you need help with business strategy, brand development, or digital marketing, we have a personalized one-on-one coaching program just for you.
And if you're looking for something more budget-friendly, our group coaching services offer incredible value and the chance to learn alongside like-minded entrepreneurs.
Transform your business today. Visit missbiz.com and start your journey to success.
Or even if you just need advice, Brooke is really good at giving legal advice. I give free advice all the time when it comes to social media marketing, email marketing, Google ads, social media ads, even if it's a website question. That's what we're here for, is we genuinely want to help you. That was the whole purpose of creating the podcast, is because we had a passion to help other business owners. So please know that this is a resource that you have available to you if you have any questions or needs in these specific areas.
So the other idea that we had in the past to turn listeners into relationships was creating a Facebook group. So we have a Facebook group called Miss Biz Nation. But again, it hasn't really been functioning in the way that we initially envisioned. We envisioned business owners and marketers and salespeople all being in this community on Facebook and being able to share ideas with each other and get feedback and use it kind of as a focus group of sorts, where how do you like this logo versus this logo and all those things. That's how we envisioned it, but that's not really how it functioned. We realized that a lot of people apparently weren't comfortable to start posting these questions, and we're kind of sitting back and observing before they would get to a place of comfort to start posting their own questions and comments. So we've looked at ways that we could improve upon the Miss Biz Nation, because I still believe that having a Facebook group like that is a great way to build community and turn those listeners into relationships, but we just need to fine tune it a bit. Part of it is initially we were just letting anybody into the Facebook group, whether they had a business or worked for the government. Whoever they were, we were allowing them into the group. And so I think we're going to go through and cut back on some of the members and make sure they're the right people who have an interest in the topics that we are discussing. And frankly, some of those people that were in the group were just there to support us because they were friends of ours. And so they're like, yes, I'll be in your group. I'll support you in your group. But in reality, if they don't have businesses that they're working in or with, then they're probably not going to gain much value from the group. And so it's better that they support us in a different way, and that we keep that audience within the Miss Biz Nation, just those people who are like-minded in similar in similar business mindsets, so that we can all benefit and learn from each other.
Finding guests for a podcast can be difficult sometimes, so Brooke and I wanted to let you guys know that we are available to appear on your podcast.
We also enjoy speaking at events, so if you have an event coming up, these jingles can go on the road.
Simply go to missbiz.com/contact, and in the subject line, write podcast guest or event speaker, and we'll reach out to you to further coordinate. Another thing that we thought that we could incorporate would be to offer exclusive content on the Miss Biz Nation page, and things that aren't necessarily posted onto the main social media platforms that they can only find there, and making sure that we're advertising that in that week's episode.
Yes. So an example is Rachel occasionally puts together a blooper reel of some of our bloopers. And so I thought maybe we'd just post that on the Miss Biz Nation page. We could even put some of our lead magnets or things, just make those available to people on the Miss Biz Nation page as well, to try to grow the group, but also grow it with the right type of professionals, so that everybody can be participating, feeling comfortable to participate, and gaining value from it.
And then the other thing that we're going to start incorporating is adding different segments to each episode, where we're inviting you to contact us in regards to a speaking engagement or being on your podcast. Brooke got the idea from listening to somebody else's podcast, and had that person not said those specific words, Brooke probably wouldn't have thought to even reach out to that person.
Exactly. I listen to a podcast every day. It's a biblical podcast, and I love that podcast and the host, but never in a million years would I have thought to reach out to this person. And at the end of one of her episodes, she said, I do speaking engagements, so I would love for you to contact me and invite me to come to a speaking engagement. And so I said, Rachel, let's invite her to be on our podcast. I never would have thought to do that, because I just wouldn't have thought of it. And I wouldn't have thought that she would be open to an idea such as that. I wouldn't have thought of it. But by her inviting me to do it, we took action and already sent out an invite. So the point is just, we need, as Miss Biz, to let you know we're open to these things. We'd love to be on your podcast if you have one. I know that a lot of our listeners have podcasts, and we've been on some of them, but I'm maybe other people are not thinking of it either. So we'd love to be on your podcast. If you have a speaking engagement, we're speaking at PodFest next week, actually, or actually by the time this airs, it'll be in the past.
Yeah.
But we're speaking at PodFest. We speak at a lot of different places. So if you have a speaking engagement, just reach out. We would love to be invited, and we'll do our best to make it work if we can. So that's another way that we can take listeners to relationships. So that is, in summary, some of the analysis that we've done of Miss Biz, looking at ourselves, taking a hard look at what we've done well, but also what we can improve upon. And so the purpose of this is hopefully to give you some ideas on how you can look at your business, figure out where that disconnect is. For us, again, we needed to turn listeners into relationships. And for you, it may be something different. Maybe you're going to networking meetings and making a bunch of connections, but they're not actually referring you any business. Or who knows? It could be all different types of things. Maybe you're getting a bunch of business, but you're not able to handle it all. So you need to bring on some team members. I don't know what your specific disconnect is, but hopefully this exercise of looking at how we walk through these steps can help you identify that disconnect and get your water hose flowing freely.
We appreciate you and are honored to be on this journey with you. We can't wait to help you, to encourage you, and show you how to grow personally, professionally, and spiritually.
If you found Miss Biz helpful, please leave a review and share with others.
You can follow us on social media at Miss Biz Podcast.
For legal questions or services, please visit boltslegal.com.
And for digital marketing needs, please visit boltsmedia.com. Let's get biz done.